Single Ace, you want to know what we did in pregame?
What you guys did in pregame?
Yep.
What's that?
Talked about Michael Jackson. Yep. I said, have you had enough? Was this it? Have you had enough? They said no. Then I said,
don't stop till you get enough.
He did. And then we played it. Nico was then I taught him who Quincy Jones was.
I prefer the Jackson 5 Michael Jackson.
Well, why did Michael Jackson leave the Jackson 5? What did he do right before Off the Wall? He did the Whiz. And a lady named Diana Ross told him, I had to leave the Supremes. You have to leave the Jackson 5. Then he met Quincy Davis doing the Whiz, and he did Off the Wall. That was where watching that on Newer Show. We're going to watch that on there. The Scarecrow is who he was. None of these guys have seen the Whiz. Yeah, they haven't seen. They can see the Whiz.
And we're joined now in progress by Siena head coach Jimmy Patsos.
Oh, are we live?
Oh, we are live, coach. And freshman Nico
Thank God
Clareth.
I didn't sing, right?
Coach, if you have an opening statement, please.
Then in halftime, we talked about working day and night, right? No, in other words, you have to keep working. You have to keep getting better. And that was the beginning. Everyone said Michael Jackson might end with the Jackson 5. Then he goes and does the Whiz. Then he moves to the New York. Then he goes to Studio 54. Then he meets Quincy Jones. Then he does Off the Wall. The rest is history. He becomes one of the most popular artists ever because he continued to work. I know the ending wasn't so great. But the story, if you watch it, is about how Diana Ross taught him with the Whiz. You have to branch out, expand, basically get better. And your game's expanding, right?
Yes.
Is that why you had so many assists tonight? Did we inspire you?
Nah, I could always pass, coach.
There you go. It was a really tough game because they shoot threes. They're well coached. They beat us here. When you lose to a team 5 times in a row, you never think anything's safe. That's why we went up there and beat them, and then we came back here and got a sweep. A really good Jim Barron team. Number 13, boy, I'll tell you, I guess Isaiah Gurley's going to start playing more because he was a force. And they were 7 for 22 from 3. They're dangerous. They make threes. But we withstood the rally, and I thought LeVon was really good in the huddle after a little bit of a lackluster start to the second half. We said, come on, LeVon, and then LeVon was good in the huddle and said, let's get some stops and we'll be fine. Brett didn't practice all week, single ace, I'll tell you. He's still at 15 and 9, you know. But he didn't practice all week, so he wanted to go back in and play a little at the end. Like, we're not trying to run the score up or anything. We're just trying to get our guys ready because we can't practice tomorrow because we have to play Iona on Saturday at 2 o'clock, and they didn't play this week. But that's okay because the schedule's the way it is, and there's nothing you can do about it. We'll take any questions.
Nico, you said that in the Maris game you guys got away from playing Siena basketball from time to time. Was this more, in your opinion, was this more of an example of playing Siena basketball for 40 minutes, do you think?
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, that's what we can do. We share the ball. We don't care who scores. We play team defense. And there's 20 assists.
That's right. I think he's right. We offensive rebounded better than 20 assists. We got a Nico left-handed dunk too. Those are good.
Jimmy, what do you do when you got a player like Nico? You've said before you weren't going to rein him in. Then there were some changes here and there. You haven't, exactly. What does he give to this team?
I think Nico Clareth is great for college basketball in general. He talked about a guy like Damon Lillard. That was another speech we had. See, you're not there. He's not there yet. He's not going to be at his peak for 8 more years. Damon Lillard was at Weber State. He was our level. I'm not saying he's as good as him. Maybe he is. Kobe Bryant's in the video I saw. Kobe Bryant's very heavily in that video. It's kind of a Motown to soul video with Quincy Jones. Got to get better. Kobe Bryant said it inspired him to become a defensive player. Watch it. Told Nico's a good defensive player. He can be a great defensive player. He's a good passer. He can be a great great passer. He's got a really good mid-range game that I don't think he uses as much as he can. Sure, he's going to shoot the 3 and he gets to the bucket well. But, he had 4 turnovers. In other words, you have to keep getting better. And I talked to Nico today in our office about how well he's doing. You're doing great. I'm very proud of him. But he has to keep getting better. We talked about, the thing I don't like about the Cam Newton thing is everybody's like, he's no good. He didn't win the Super Bowl. He's 25 years old. He's got to get better. Peyton got better at 30. Joe Flacco took 6 years, but he got into the playoffs every year. Tom Brady wasn't perfect right away. I mean, these guys have to get better, and our team has to get better, and Nico has to get better. We don't have to yell, or we maybe not have to practice that much, but mentally, maybe we talked about coming in and watching a little video in the office under no stress, as opposed to with the team after a loss. So Nico's doing great. He's as good a team guy as I've ever coached. I want to make sure that's real clear. Nico Clareth is a team-first guy. I'm not just saying that. Great teammate. So we're doing well. Got to work on a few things, and these young guys are hitting the wall. This is more games. They haven't played this hard in their life for this extended period of time.
Speaking of those 20 assists, you had 20 assists on 31 shots. I mean, how big is the extra pass?
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took the same amount of shots as them and scored 30 more points. That's a lucky thing. But yes, we share the ball. I don't think our turnovers are ever really intentional, right?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, he almost overpassed. Levon tried to make a really slick pass one time, but he was looking for Jay. And then at the end, I think they kind of clicked the passes. But we're not like one time Nico, even though he tried to lob it in, he probably could have hit Ryan and gone into Javion. But Javion kind of had the guy. That's like more of an NBA pass, where the guy jumps up and gets it. But we're working on passing. Our mentality is to pass, and that's what I care about.
Hey, Nico, I know you were forced into some minutes, as were other guys with Keese out. When did you feel like you stopped being a freshman, or do you still feel like you are?
The day you arrived. No, I'm just kidding.
As soon as the season started, Coach told us, me, Ev, Kenan, that we're no longer freshmen now. This is sophomore. We had a long workout season, and then we went straight into the regular season. So I'm a sophomore, I guess.
Yeah, basically when after the first couple games, they said, remember, they go to summer school now,
Coach, you talk about Nico and his energy, but one person who's been very constant for you guys has been Javion Ogunyemi, another huge night for him. Just what's his role been like for you guys, obviously, since Marquise went down and beyond that?
Tremendous. He's leading us. Marquise today, I don't know, you guys can talk to him. He was in the hospital today. He got stitches. Did you get that, Single Ace? Art class. Nicks it. Worst thing, he's cutting something that's really thick at the top and thin at the bottom, because I'm like, this story better be good. And he's like, no. And they came right over, public safety, and took him to Albany Memorial, and they did a good job. And I went over and got him a Mr. Sub. I now know where Mr. Sub is over there, because I almost got hit crossing the street. My day started with 2 hours in the emergency room. He got 6 or 7 stitches. It won't affect his timetable. My first question, of course, was, which hand? And they go, left. I go, good. I mean, I hope he's okay. So it's his left hand, and it's not a tendon. They took an X-ray. They did a good job. And then Dr. Alfred's here tonight. We're going to take Sunday and Monday off. He'll start practicing Tuesday. But it was good to sit there, with Marquise. And I don't mean good. It was bad. But, when you're in the emergency room and you're just sitting there chatting and talking, and he's got a good mindset. And the one thing he talked about was Javion's kind of taking over the huddles. I think we should stick with that. I said, do you want to start? He goes, absolutely not. I want to come off the bench my first game and see what it's like. But he talked about how great Javion's doing. They're best friends. They live together. Leading. He talked about how he's doing. He said I should encourage Kenny a little more, which I have been doing, But Keese is funny. He's like, man, you were on me when I was a freshman. You just get mad at Kenny, but you don't say anything. I think you should kind of push him in that direction. See, it was Keese's fault. But no, and I think Kenny and I are working on our relationship in terms of, I don't really just mean to pick on you. I'm just trying to help you get better, because you can help us get better. But Keese has picked up a lot of things, I think. Don't you think, Nico? Watching on the bench. But those are just things to clarify. I don't think he wants to start. I think he thinks Javion Ogunyemi is doing a tremendous job in the huddles. And he understood that maybe Brett, and I'm like, Brett is going to play today, but he didn't practice for 3 days. He's like, he's earned the right to start. It's interesting when players give you that stuff, because it's the players today that matter. And I don't want to get fired like Derek Fisher, so I'm going to be nice to the players.
You finally get to see Siona on Saturday, Jimmy.
Ooh, are they in our league?
It isn't. You mentioned, you're playing tonight, then short turnaround to Saturday afternoon. They've been off since Sunday. You both like to play up tempo. Does that play into their hands a little bit?
No, I think it gives us an advantage because we just played, so they'll be rusty. Is that good, Commissioner Renzer? No, I'm just kidding. No, remember, and I don't. We have a lot of great things in our league, and everything's fine. This 11-team thing has been adjustment for all of us. Rich Enzer is as good a commissioner as there is out there. John Dargenio is on the committee for the basketball committee and stuff. This 11-game thing is new for everyone, and we know it. And then we are kind of in the middle, so you got to take the Buffalo teams out, and then there's a hockey game here, and there's a hockey arena. So, in other words, we all know it. We're trying to do a better job of it, but it's been an interesting experiment. And then we played 2 games in December, which makes an odd number of games. In other words, if you played 1 in December, then everything would be even. So it's an interesting dynamic, and it's okay. I guess it washes out over the long run. It's just My thing is, it's tough when you go on the road after they have it. In other words, if they had more rest and they would come to us, I would say it's more fair. But we go on the road. But this is the business we have chosen, and I'll tell you one thing: it's going to be sold out Saturday at 2, and they want us to be. In other words, Iona said, "Give us Siena on a Saturday afternoon so we can sell the place out." It's great respect for our program, and I'm down with that. Right? Show business. Like, I'm down. We want to play in front of a packed house. I don't want extra rest and play on Monday night in Heinz Center when there's only 1,000 people. So if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. It's just sometimes it gets frustrating, but this is a work in progress, and Rich Enzer and Ruben Perez and all these new people they're trying to put together a formula. Maybe we should play 3 games. Maybe we shouldn't play everybody twice. But I definitely think we should play everybody twice. And I think John Dargeniano speak from it, shares my feelings. It's hard to get home games. That gives us 10 home, 10 away. It's good mid-major. So these are all things that go into it. And I'm learning. Yeah, I'm happy because we won. But, there's no evil empire out there or anything like that. I don't think that. I just think sometimes it shakes out where it's not so advantageous to us. But that's show business. Right, Nico? See ya.
Thanks, Coach.